Okay everyone, so in this next video, I just want to run you through on how to install Visual Studio Code. So just type Visual Studio Code to your favorite search engine like Google and then go to their site. So you will see here guys, once you're in their website, you can now go to the download option here. We have the download for Windows. I'm using Windows here and I'll be downloading it for Windows. So it will automatically give us here the version that is compatible to our Windows operating system. Let me just download that. So it's downloading. Let's just go and wait for this to finish. Okay, now let's go to Visual Studio Code user setup here to the folder directory from where it got downloaded. Now let's go and try to run the installer here. So we have here the license agreement. Just accept the license agreement, then click next. Then it will be prompting you with the path from where you would want to go and install your Visual Studio Code. In this case, we are here at the C directory, programs directory here, Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So just click next. Then click next. It says here to continue, click next. If you would like to select a different folder, click browse. Then click next here. Then select the additional tasks you would like to set up to perform while installing Visual Studio Code, then click next. So you can have a desktop icon, add open with code action to Windows Explorer file context menu, add open with code action to Windows Explorer directory context menu. So let's just go and have here the default options. So let's just click on that and it shows us here the directory, destination location, start menu folder, and additional tasks that we would want to go and include into the installation. So let me go and click on install. Okay guys, so it says here setup has finished installing Visual Studio Code on your computer. The application may be launched by selecting the installed shortcuts. Launch Visual Studio Code. Let's go and finish this. Now you would see here we have a very newly installed Visual Studio Code here, and you can go and choose the themes that you would want to use here. I actually reinstalled this in a virtual machine that I have here because I already have it installed in my main machine, and I wanted to show you the process from the very beginning on how to install Visual Studio Code. Okay everyone, so now I'm back into my main machine here, and I just want to go and run you through the basic interface of Visual Studio Code. And you would see here that we have the different tabs. We have the file tab from where you can go and open a folder, open a file, even open a new window. And of course, we can also set up the preferences. Let's say, for example, color theme. We can go and try to have it light Visual Studio Code color. Let's go and change it to quiet light, depending on how you would want to work and how you would want to customize your Visual Studio Code. For me, I'll just be sticking with the dark default here. And we have the edit tab here from where you can easily find files. This is going to be very useful, especially if you're going to be working with a lot of files already, if you're building projects. And we have your selection tab. We have the view tab from where you can go and have a full screen mode. You can go and increase the view of your Visual Studio Code. So you would see here it increased the font of our Visual Studio Code here. And you can also use the shortcut here, control plus equal sign, control plus minus sign here. And we have here the Go tab, we have the Run tab when you're debugging, and we have here the terminal. This is going to be giving you an environment as if you're working on a Linux terminal. In Windows, we have what we call the command prompt. It's similar to that. This is going to be very useful if you're going to be using Git and if you're going to be collaborating already with a team. So this is going to be very, very useful. And we also have here the help tab. So you would see you can go and get started here and check out some of the video tutorials, tips and tricks if you have some time. And here we have some options here. We have the Explorer. If you go and click on this, it will be opening up here the folders and the repositories that you have if ever you are already working with GitHub and Git. And we have here search. We can find files in our directory. We can have here the source control from where, if you're working with Git, this will be a place from where you can check out if there had been some changes in your local repository, and you will be pushing it to a remote repository. So that's just more on collaboration part, everyone. In future lessons that you will be encountering as you go and move forward to becoming a web developer, you will hear the term Git, and I would suggest that you try to read through it. I actually have a discussion about this in my HTML fundamental course. You might want to go and check it out. If you like this course, you might want to go and take that course to further exercise and do projects that will be helping you out and understand HTML much better. And we also have here, everyone, the run and debug option, or the command here. And we also have here the extensions, which is going to be very useful, guys. You would see here I have some extensions installed in my Visual Studio Code here that makes it a lot easier for me to go and work. And you would see here I have 10 extensions installed. You can also search extensions here, everyone. Let's say, for example, you want to go and search extension for Sublime. Let's say you have been working with Sublime Text. That's another text editor. And you want it to be more like Sublime Text. The features will be more like Sublime Text. You can go and try to look for extensions that will be making it much easier for you to go and use Visual Studio Code, because if you're familiar with Sublime Text already and you're transitioning to Visual Studio Code, you might want to go and check out some extensions that are available that you can go and use for making it a lot easier for you to transition to Visual Studio Code coming from another text editor such as Sublime. And we also have here some of the options here. You would see the accounts. We have here the other settings. This has a shortcut to the color theme. Check for updates. You would also see here, guys, the option to go and tweet your feedback. If, for example, you would want to go and give some suggestions to the developers of the software. And we have here the notification icon for any notifications that Visual Studio Code will be notifying you about. So that will be all for the basic interface of Visual Studio Code, guys. And the next thing that I just want to go and try to show you here is for you to open your file, the file that we have created, using the open folder option in the file tab. From here, guys, just go to where you saved your folder, your directory for your first website, then select the directory, then select the folder, and you will see here Visual Studio Code will be prompting you, do you trust the authors of the file in this folder? Of course, we trust it because we made it. And if you go and click on your index.html in your directory here, you will see that we now have the same hello world text that we have created in our notepad, the pre-installed software in our Windows machine. And it will be making it a lot easier for us to code if we are using a text editor like Visual Studio Code, because as you can see here, it's a lot easier to read our code here because it has line numbers and it has features such as IntelliSense and autocomplete that will be helping us out while we are already writing our code or programs. So that will be all for this video, everyone. I hope you are now more familiar with the basic interface of Visual Studio Code. I'm sure you'll get to be more familiarized with the text editor as we go along with our discussion for our HTML crash course here. So with that, thank you and see you on our next videos.